Hello YouTube. This is going to be kind of a different video. I'm off with surgery and can't really sit up and do the things that I was doing to make these videos. So I'm going to try to do some the best I can, you know, the way I can. I was going to show you a few things I've been working on. Just some figures. I have been into this box of Scouts, but I've also been working on a couple other figures too that come with some of the Sherman tanks. I apologize for the shaky camera, but I'm gonna get into, or we'll get into looking at some of those guys I've been working on. So to start out on the box that I just showed you, the guy who's operating the radio, I just took him, or cut him off of the sprue with sprue cutters, sanded down all the seams, which there weren't very many, and then just glued everything in place. You can see some of the shininess of the glue. It doesn't matter because I'm going to have to put some scarves on him. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it around his neck or maybe even put it over his head, then glue his helmet on, because this diorama that I'm going to do, it'll be a smaller one, but it will be a winter diorama. So I want to use some of these guys from this pack. I know they're not really meant for winter, but I think if you add certain things to certain figures, it'll look pretty good. But zoom out on that. Very good detail on the face. So I've definitely been doing things with the bare minimum. Probably because I can't get the most of my supplies. So, tester's glue, sprue cutters, which I've actually been using them as kind of a knife, because I don't have my knife here with me. So they've been doing pretty good. Pretty decent for going with the bare minimum. And then I've got another sander yet, but you know, this side wore off pretty quick. I don't know why this side never seems to hold as good as the other side. So I've been using those to sand everything down. So I've got that guy. He was part of that kit that I just showed you. And then these came with a tank that I did not long ago. There was a diorama I did with a somewhat of a celebration in the street with a tank. These guys actually came with that tank, but I didn't use them obviously because this was a winter scene. I did pre-prime these before surgery. That way I kind of have something to go on so I could see seams and everything. So that was a plus. Thinking ahead with that. As you can see, there wasn't an extreme amount of sanding, but you know, there was some on different seams and whatnot. And I haven't glued his other arm yet because that arm goes across his jacket. And then also the placement of his rifle. I'm gonna, you know, paint the rifle up, glue it onto the arm, paint the arm up, and you know, after this is all painted, and glue it on to save myself you know, the problems of trying to paint through the seams right now. I'm not as what would be the words? Not doing it as good as the job as I normally would with a paintbrush. I'm kind of shaky, so that'll save me the problems. And then here's another one. Oops, this kind of blurred out. Let me bring that out. There we go. I kind of like this guy. I like the way that scarf kind of comes down out of his helmet. And I'll tell you why. Being in the military, once upon a time, I used to do stuff like that. Put my scarf inside my helmet like that and bring it down. So, and those wool scarves are extremely comfortable. I mean, I don't know, unless unless you don't like the itch of the wool. But if you get past that, everything with wool was great. Blankets, I still sleep with service blankets now. The wool blankets, because I don't know, they just feel good to me now. Well, it's really blurring a lot, huh? Okay. All right, let me, okay, that seemed to help getting some of that stuff out of the way. But face details are great on this guy. Let's see if I can bring it in without that. Yeah, it just, this ain't really doing too great of a job to zoom. There we go. Very good details. I really like this figure. And they're a 1/48 scale Tamiya figures. You know, this is the 1/35 scale one. They're 1/48 scale ones. And they're just like these. Comes in a pack. And there's a lot more, you know, figures with that. And but I do know that these guys, this one in particular, and the last one I showed you with the winter jacket, come in that pack. And because I built them once before. And then here's another guy that came with that set. And this time I used one of the helmets that came with this other kit, the Scout kit. If you can see that, it has the net on it. And these helmets are actually a little bit smaller. I mean, not small enough because you can't tell. It looks pretty good on that head. But these helmets are actually a little bit smaller than the ones that came with these guys. And let me dig in here and see if I can, yeah, here we go. We can find them and compare them a little bit. If I can get them close enough together. Okay. So, there. Oh, that's, gee. Okay, so these ones are the ones that came with the guys in the winter uniforms that came with the tank. Right here where my thumb is. And my finger, this is one of the ones with the netting on it that I used. And they're not that much smaller. I mean, you can see it's not by far. But they are a little bit off. But that's okay. Not far enough off to where I wouldn't put the two together. And as you can see, like the Thompsons look the same. Everything looks close. It was just the helmets were a little bit off. But like I said, not so far off that it concerns me while trying to put this together and make these guys, you know, look like they belong together. Because sometimes that is concerning. And I know certain people say that, oh yeah, but, you know, different people have different sizes. Yeah, but when the head sizes are drastically different, then there is an issue. And these ones are not drastically different. Actually, they're probably about spot on, and that's another reason why I decided to use these ones and maybe put scarves on them and stuff. Maybe even do a little bit extra, try to make them look like some of the outfits are from the winter. This is a pretty, you know, these newer Tamiya figures that they're doing, I actually kind of like them because, you know, this whole torso, they're two pieces. Okay, so you can glue them together. And then the legs, you know, they're two pieces. And then you must have like a little bit of a bell in there where that fits right on. So there's no mistaking of how that fits the way he's supposed to fit together. And I like that. Because, you know, some of these older ones, now these ones had little notches here and there, which made it nice too for putting them together. You know, that way you knew exactly the way they were supposed to be turned and everything. Where sometimes some of the guys, you can't tell. You got to kind of play around trying to get them to look just right, especially arms and stuff like that if they're holding rifles. A lot of times you got to play with them, yeah, just to get the arms to look right or to hold the rifle the way you want it, like something like this. Like this guy, there is a notch right there, if you can see that. And that will line up with a notch on the arm that has to go on yet, which will make it nice because he'll be lined right up with that rifle. And the head actually, you know, if you remember a lot of the older Tamiya kits, the heads, the neck was flat where it was cut off. And then you kind of had to move it and position it the right way, the way you wanted it. Where this one, it was notched, so you could lay this head right in that notch, and you know exactly where it's supposed to be. So you can see how I got him lined up. He's going to line up perfect with that M1 Grand. So that's a plus when you're building ones like these. But yeah, I was kind of going for, well, what I'm going for is possibly something like maybe a Band of Brothers type scene. You know, like when they just come out from the woods there at Foy, possibly, or something along the lines of that. I don't know. I've got some pieces. I was looking at some nice World War II pictures. I got these old brick walls. Actually, I used these as a kid. I had to scrape a bunch of stuff off. But like, you know, I'd seen some pictures of some block walls with some fence above it. And I've got extra from, you know, these mini art kits that I've gotten over the years, but you kind of got a wall there with a piece of fence. And yeah, I've got some extra foam laying around too. And yeah, I got some window pieces and some balsa wood, so I can always make it look like a building is kind of half blown down. But I'm not going for anything outlandish. The base that I pre-varnished and stained is probably smaller than the size of this box. So it's just enough to fit a few of these guys. These four definitely. I might put another one on there. I'm not sure yet. But basically, I really wanted to test. I have some of the AK snow effects. I bought a couple of those, and I really want to test those out and see how they are. To see, you know, I'd like to make a future or a bigger diorama in the future of some winter scenes. But the ones I've done so far before, I've used Vallejo snow effect, which is very good. Actually, I will probably use that on the jackets, because when you put it on these kind of jackets, especially on the wrinkles and stuff, I mean, it looks amazing. And I'll have to look to see if I have a picture anywhere. I've done that with a lot of Warlord bolt action gaming pieces for German troops with the snow on their outfits for the winter, and they've turned out really well with the Vallejo snow effects. And then I've even gone so far as to use, I've picked up white sand at the hobby store, like white sand, and I've used it. The baking powder stuff, I don't know, every time it starts to turn yellow, it doesn't look too good. I know that was a big thing way back, using baking powder and that. I mean, it works for now, but if you want something that's going to be around for a long time and not look dirty in like 10 years, that's probably not the way to go. You have to find something else. So I'm going to try that. We'll see how that works. This is probably going to take a lot of time, so probably I won't be putting out videos extremely quick, because I'll have to paint each guy. I might try to do a paint tutorial if I can, which that's probably going to be like trying to do that in half a day, with trying to film with a hand and paint with a hand. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, just a small diorama. I'll try to do, I'm laid up and can't do much, but I just wanted to share that with you, share these guys. Like I said, these guys look awesome. I know it keeps blurring out. Usually I can control the video better, but I can't right now. But these guys look awesome. So I've been pretty excited about this. I've been wanting to do this for a while with these guys. I've actually got a whole other set of these three guys from the same tank. And I've wanted to do them for a long time. I've always thought, oh, I'd do something big, but I don't know. Since I have two sets, I can do a test run and then maybe down the road do something big with these and find some other guys in winter clothes and, you know, just go crazy. And, of course, I'm still in the middle of that other diorama project with the British truck in the desert. It'll look like the Stuart tank's going to pull it out, which that's going to take some time to get back to that too. But I hope you'll stay tuned to see all this. And yeah, just keep watching and check out the videos as they come out. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed just listening to me chat about these kits. And I hope you'll like and subscribe and tune back in and see what else is going on. If you haven't already, thank a veteran. Thank them for their service. Doesn't matter what veteran of what war they, or not even of a war, just thank a veteran. They gave for you. The least you could do is thank them for it. And God bless.